Chapter 2153. Father. At this moment Yi Xian was stunned. Damn it. The ancestor of the profound sword immortal sect is my father? We fought for so long yet he's actually on our side? In the sky, the azure-robed man looked down at Yi Xian and said with a smile, I heard everything you said just now. Stand upside down and have diarrhea. TSK. That would definitely be a sight to behold. Yi Xian was speechless. The experts of the profound sword immortal sect hurriedly bowed. Greetings, ancestor. The green-clothed man glanced at them with a calm expression. I'm not considered to be your founding ancestor. All of them were speechless. Yi Xian gazed at the green-clothed man. Father? What's your relationship with the profound sword immortal sect? The green-clothed man smiled. I gave them some pointers all those years ago. So that's why. Yi Xian shook his head and smiled. We fought for so long, yet he's actually on our side. The green-clothed man glanced at Yi Xian. You've come into contact with the Tao of Time? Yi Xian nodded. The green-clothed man roared with laughter. You've improved quite quickly. Yi Xian hesitated for a moment before he asked, How far away are we? The green-clothed man blinked. It's not very far. It's just a little bit away. A little bit. Yi Xian instantly heaved a sigh of relief when he heard this and he smiled. I'll work hard. The green-clothed man nodded. Just work hard. Yi Xian was quite curious. Father, what are you and Big Brother doing right now? The green-clothed man smiled. We're going around. Yi Xian hesitated for a moment before he said, Father, you have to be careful. I haven't even fulfilled my filial duties, so you have to be careful. The green-clothed man roared with laughter. Don't worry. So long as I don't want to die, then no one in this world can kill me. You, on the other hand, have to be careful. Don't make me have to send my son off one day. All of them had strange expressions on their faces. They were father and son. However, this pair of father and son was kind and filial. Yi Xian said with smile, I have Qing, under normal circumstances I won't die. The green-robed man said sternly, It's not good to rely on others. You should learn from your father. Your father killed his way out. Yi Xian was a little puzzled. Xiao Ta said that you were often hung up and beaten, and your soul was often ignited. You were in a very difficult situation. Xiao Ta suddenly jumped up. Seek. Young master. The green-robed man narrowed his eyes. Yi Xian hurriedly added, It also said that you were beaten by Qing before? Inside Yi Xian's body, Xiao Ta suddenly said in a trembling voice, Young lord, you idiot, you've made a big mistake. In the sky, the green-robed man suddenly opened his palm, and a wisp of sword light suddenly flew down. The target was Yi Xian. Yi Xian seemed to have expected this, and the corners of his mouth slightly raised. When he saw his father said that there was only a little distance between them. He wanted to fight with his father. He was not very confident in fighting with his father's real body, but he was confident in fighting with his father's avatar. Today Yi Xian was going to kill his father. Facing the green-robed man, even if it was just a small avatar, Yi Xian did not dare to have the slightest bit of carelessness. His first move was a direct slash. Not only that, at this moment he also made a move, letting his future self slash the past, two working together. His strongest sword. When this sword slashed out, the corners of Yi Xian's mouth slightly raised. This was because he realized that the green-robed man did not seem to expect that his future self had already made a move. He did not defend against the green-robed man's sword. In his opinion, his father's avatar should not be able to break through his invincible sword body. His sword body should be able to defend against this sword. Take it head-on. An injury in exchange for a life. Almost at the same time, Xiao Ta suddenly charged out of Yi Xian's body and directly collided with the green-robed man's avatar. The man in the tower had discussed it. In the sky, Xiao Ta laughed. I have been a tower for tens of thousands of years. Today I, Xiao Ta, will defy the heavens and change my fate. Master, from now on, don't call me Xiao Ta, please call me Tower Master. The green-robed man looked at Xiao Ta, who was colliding with him, and his expression was calm. Below, the green-robed man's sword energy suddenly pierced between Yi Xian's eyebrows. Bang! Yi Xian's body shook violently, and then it directly turned into ashes. At the same time, his soul was instantly slashed hundreds of thousands of meters away, and as soon as he stopped, he fell directly into a boundless abyss. Yi Xian's head was buzzing. He did not resist it? My invincible sword body did not resist it? Yi Xian hurriedly looked at the green-robed man in the distance. At the end of his vision, his sword had already slashed in front of the green-robed man, but his green profound sword was directly caught by two fingers of the green-robed man. And that sword of his in the future did not appear from the beginning to the end. What's going on? Just as this doubt appeared in Yi Xian's mind, the next moment, he felt that his soul directly became illusory. What's going on? Yi Xian was dumbfounded. In the distance, just as Xiao Ta collided in front of the green-robed man, the green-robed man in the distance pointed with his fingers. Bang! Xiao Ta shook violently and the body of the tower directly cracked. Then, followed by an extremely mournful cry, Xiao Ta directly flew out of sight. The green-robed man looked at the green profound sword in front of him, and the green profound sword trembled. I was forced. The green-robed man smiled slightly and then released his fingers. Little Soul hurriedly flew in front of Yi Xian, and said in a trembling voice, "Young master, it seems that we can't beat him." Yi Xian. The green-robed man suddenly appeared in front of Yi Xian, and he looked at Yi Xian and said with a smile, "Is it fun?" Yi Xian smiled bitterly. "Father, how did you defend against that slash of mine in the past?" The green-robed man shook his head. "You fool." Yi Xian. The green-robed man said again, "To be precise, it is the future you who slashed the past. You let the future you slash the past and then at this moment you do it. I have to say this idea of yours is quite unique and indeed quite good. Unfortunately you have overlooked one thing." Yi Xian hurriedly asked, "What?" The green-robed man said, "Strength. You have underestimated your father's strength. To put it simply, the Tao of Time can't do anything to your father. Not to mention you, even the Time Master would have to kneel in front of your father." Yi Xian, the green-robed man said again, "However, your sword just now is indeed quite good. Now that you are working with your future self, this sword can kill people who are several realms higher than you." Yi Xian said in a low voice, "Father, do you think there is anything that needs to be improved on?" The green-robed man blinked. "Think about it yourself." Yi Xian's face darkened immediately. "Damn it. This is my biological father?" Biological father. The green-robed man patted Yi Xian's shoulder lightly. "Don't be unfair. What you comprehend yourself is the best. It's like cutting flesh with a knife. Others tell you that cutting flesh with a knife will hurt, but if you don't cut yourself you won't know what pain feels like." Yi Xian glanced at the green-robed man. "Father, are you fooling me?" The green-robed man. Yi Xian asked again, "What is above the Tao of Time?" The green-robed man smiled and said, "Let's play with time first." Yi Xian said in a low voice, "Father, you only cultivate the sword, right?" The green-robed man nodded. Yi Xian was silent. The green-robed man smiled slightly. "I know what you are thinking. You are afraid that your cultivation is too mixed and it will affect the Tao of Sword, right?" Yi Xian nodded. The green-robed man smiled and said, "Don't think that way. Everyone's life is different. Just like you and me, although we both have the crazy demon bloodline, your crazy demon bloodline is different from mine. Do you know why?" Yi Xian hurriedly asked, "Why?" Actually, he had wanted to ask this question for a long time. The green-robed man said in a low voice, "Personality. Our personalities are different. Therefore, although we have the same bloodline, we are different. Including the Tao of Sword. Father didn't teach you the Tao of Sword because you already have your own Tao of Sword. You are not suitable to walk our path." Yi Xian frowned slightly. "My own Tao of Sword?" The green-robed man smiled and said, "Haven't you noticed? Your Tao of Sword is different from our Tao of Sword." Yi Xian hesitated for a moment and said, "What Tao of Sword?" The green-robed man blinked. "Shameless." Yi Xian's face instantly darkened. The green-robed man said, "I am not teasing you. A thick-skinned person is broad-minded. A broad-minded person's sword is broad-minded. There are millions of Tao of Sword in the world. There is no need for you to learn other people's Tao of Sword. Walk your own path. Understand?" Yi Xian said in a low voice, "Father, are you serious?" The green-robed man laughed. "You are my son. Why would I lie to you?" Yi Xian was skeptical. The green-robed man said, "I know a place where you can train your Tao of Sword. Are you interested in going?" Yi Xian was slightly curious. "What place?" The green-robed man smiled and said, "The Burial God Territory. I passed by that place in the past. That place is quite suitable for you." At this moment Xiao Ta's voice suddenly sounded out from the horizon. "Young master, don't go. If you go, you will probably become a little brother. Don't you want to continue acting cool here? Don't you want to be invincible?" Yi Xian instantly hesitated when he heard this. "Should I stay here for a while longer?" The green-robed man smiled and said, "What? Are you afraid?" Yi Xian smiled embarrassedly. "I am naturally not afraid. I mainly want to develop for a while longer." The green-robed man smiled and said, "That is not a bad idea. However, you should know that only by fighting can you improve yourself. Right now, your strength has already reached the peak of this universe. If you continue to stay here, you will only be a weakling. Do you think this is interesting?" Yi Xian hurriedly nodded, "Interesting." The green-robed man's expression froze. Yi Xian said seriously, "Father, Xiao Ta and I have decided to stay here for a while longer. We are not going anywhere." The green-robed man looked at Yi Xian and the smile on his face suddenly disappeared. "Are you going or not?" Yi Xian's expression froze when he heard this. Damn. This father is going to use force? It's best if you don't offend him. Younger brother? He Lianxiao sized up Yi Xian and said with ridicule, "Even the older sister is so weak. I wonder what kind of trash the younger brother is." As she spoke, she pointed at Yi Xian's leg. "Break his leg first." As soon as she finished speaking, an expert by her side charged at Yi Xian. However, he just charged when his head flew into the air. A strand of blood sprayed through the air and it was extremely bloody. He Lianxiao and the others were stunned when they witnessed this scene. Instantly, Yi Xian gazed at He Lianxiao and was about to speak when the latter suddenly said, "Retreat." As soon as he finished speaking, He Lianxiao led the others behind him and vanished into the horizon. They fled. Yi Xian was stunned when he witnessed this scene. They fled so decisively? Yi Xian turned to look at Yang Yanxue. "Elder sister, do you have a conflict with her?" Yang Yanxue nodded. "She's from the Hellion family. Previously at the Celestial Treasure Pavilion's auction, she didn't have as much money as I did and I won the item. Hence she started to target me. Of course I wasn't convinced, so I beat her up when no one was around. However, this woman doesn't have any morals. Since she couldn't beat me, she went to call for help. She even called a lot of people." So, Yi Xian blinked and asked, "Elder sister, how much money do you have?" Yang Yanxue was a little wary. "Why are you asking this?" Yi Xian smiled sheepishly, "Just asking." His intuition told him that his elder sister was definitely rich. Yang Yanxue glared at Yi Xian, "Don't even think about my money." Just as Yi Xian was about to speak, that He Lianxiao came again. This time she brought two black-robed elders with her. Both of them were actually at the eternal realm. He Lianxiao stared fixedly at Yi Xian. "Kill him." As soon as she finished speaking, one of the black-robed old men behind her suddenly clawed at Yi Xian from afar, and then a powerful force swept towards Yi Xian. Meanwhile, Yi Xian flicked his thumb lightly. A ray of light flashed. In an instant, that force was instantly torn apart by Yi Xian's attack, and then his sword continued forward and slashed towards the old man. The old man's pupils constricted when he witnessed this scene, and then he suddenly took a step forward and smashed his fist forward. A ray of light swept out like an erupting volcano, and it instantly caused the space in the surroundings to seethe. He was going head-on against Yi Xian's sword. The old man's fist had just come into contact with Yi Xian's sword when the ray of light was instantly obliterated. A moment later, the old man was blasted over 10 kilometers back, and he just stopped moving when his right arm exploded into pieces, and then his body exploded into pieces as well. Yi Xian himself was struck dumb at the sight of this. His attack hadn't slashed towards the past or the future. It was just an ordinary attack.